Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for yet another Civilization 6 First Impressions video because we've gotten some news about the February Frontier Pass update. So this is a free update that's going out for everybody, and it's got some exciting stuff with Barbarians, some balance tweaks, things of that sort. So we're going to we're going to take a look at the video here and give some first impressions, some thoughts, and hopefully be nice and excited for this. So what do you say, let's go ahead and start watching.
Trample the weak, hurdle the dead, and crush the gods of those that stand against you, because this is the Barbarian update video.
Actually, this is the developer video for the free February game update in Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Sid Meier's Civilization.
Nonsense! I shall feast upon your bones!
He does this every day.
This video is going to discuss the new Barbarian Clans game mode, the leader selection pool, and some of the balance changes and AI tweaks that will be coming to you for free later this month.
So fill a tankard with the blood of your enemies, mount up on your fastest horse, and hold on tight, because the Barbarians are getting their revenge, and this time, they're bringing war cards.
Three of the most exciting things about the new Barbarian Clans game mode are that it's awesome, obviously, it's free, and everybody gets it. Even if you only have the base game and none of the expansions or DLCs, or if you have it all, you will have access to this new optional game mode that offers a complete reimagining of Civilization 6 Barbarians.
So there you have it. The new game mode for the February update is the Barbarian Clans game mode, which we will hear about in just a little bit here. And obviously, since this is part of the free update, that means everybody that owns Civ 6 is going to get it, whether you have the base game or just any of the DLCs, anything like that. So very nice to get that for all of the people that have the game. I'm trying to think if any of the other game modes have been like that. The only one that I want to say has been like that is Tekken Civic Shuffle, which I think was added in a free update, but I honestly don't quite remember, so maybe someone could tell me in the comment section below, but this is either the first or second of the game modes that are free for everybody, even if you don't have any DLC, like the new Frontier Pass, so always exciting to see stuff like that. So that way, even though, you know, people that don't want to spend about $1 billion on Civ 6 to get all the DLC can still have some nice, fun new content. Let's go ahead and hear about what they've got to say about this Barbarian game mode.
The Barbarian Clans mode was directly inspired by some of the suggestions our scouts found among the thorny grasses of your social media posts. A lot of you have been wanting to see some changes to the standard kill or be killed interactions with Barbarians in Civ 6. We agree there was a lot of untapped potential there. This mode introduces 6 Barbarian clans, allows clans to convert into city-states, and gives you all new ways to interact with them.
So you hear that? There are 6 new clans here that are going to be taking the place of the standard Barbarians in this Barbarian Clans game mode, and as they'll talk about a little bit more here, there is going to be a little progress bar, so as the clans kind of mature, they can convert into city-states later in the game, which I think is a pretty cool idea. It's kind of, you know, represents how there were originally a bunch of Barbarian clans that eventually, you know, probably settled down and became tribes. We don't really have Barbarian clans out there anymore. I mean, I'm sure some people would beg to differ, but, you know, to each their own, I suppose. But, yeah, so let's go ahead and see what they've got to say about some of these different clans. And some of the stuff you can do with them are, obviously, I've watched this video already, so it's not necessarily my first impressions, but some of the stuff that you can do with these clans I think is really interesting. Also, I'm just realizing that I am currently wearing the exact same shirt that this guy is wearing, which is kind of funny.
Starters, different clans can be found living on or near different map conditions. You'll find the Camps of the Hills clan near hills, and the Rover clan near horses resources.
To make combat with Barbarians even more interesting, clans can also claim and build unique units from major civilizations that are not present in that game.
So I think stuff like this is really cool. So as we saw back here a little bit, there are unique clans that will spawn in special places. So this one you get from clans that are in hills. Obviously, you're going to get the clan of the hills, or the ones that will be near horses. We'll get the horse units, things like that. The other thing that's really cool is that, yeah, as you can see here, this clan right here has Eagle Warriors, so they can get the unique units of civilizations that aren't currently in the game. So I would imagine they can probably get Eagle Warriors. They can probably get Gilgamesh's war carts. I'm trying to think of what other... they could probably get the Gazete. I'm trying to think of all the ancient era units. Hopefully they can't get Patati archers, because I will be big sad, but I think this is pretty cool as well. You know, it adds a little bit more variability to what the Barbarians have in any given game.
Civilizations that are not present in that game.
Clans accumulate progress every turn toward conversion into a city-state, because sometimes even barbarians want to enjoy the creature comforts of civilization. Depending on how you interact with clans you encounter, you can either add or subtract to their progress towards a life of leisure.
Dispersing a clan will wipe it off the face of the map, as you're used to. However, choosing to raid a clan will not destroy it. Instead, you'll earn some gold and knock down some of that clan's progress towards city-state conversion.
So I think this is kind of cool. So there are now a number of things that you can do with these barbarian clans. So as you could see there, you could disperse them, which is pretty much like clearing the camp as it was in the game, where if you disperse the camp, it just goes away entirely. But if you raid the camp, you will get the gold. It also doesn't look like, I don't think they got a gold bonus whenever they did this, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So you get XP from destroying the clan, or from dispersing the clan, but you don't get gold. Or you can raid the clan and get gold, but not XP. And also the clan doesn't go away. So I would assume that that probably means that it can continue to spawn units. And this also little progress bar right here went down, which means that they are farther away from turning into a city-state.
You can stop a clan from attacking your cities by paying a modest protection fee in the form of a bribe. You can also hire a clan and add its strongest unit to your army. Exchanging coin in these civilized encounters will boost the clan's progress towards conversion. Or spend your gold.
So this, I think, is really cool. This makes me really excited. All right, let's see. Can we get the menu?
Or spend your gold.
No, I want the menu to come up. The little thumbnail thing down
Conversion. Or spend.
Come on. Just show me the menu. There it is. All right, so what we can do here, we can either spend gold to prevent the clan from attacking your city for a certain amount of turns, and this will also, progress them towards becoming a city-state. You can spend gold to effectively buy one of their units. It looks like... Oh yeah, actually, so it looks like the unit is permanently hired into your military, which is really cool because that means even if you're not playing someone like Montezuma, you could get Eagle Warriors, which would be really nice for an early game push. So I like how this mechanic especially just plays into just adding more options to what you can do in the early game. I think that this part is really cool. It also gives more uses for gold, which is nice because everybody always talks about how we need economic victory, but as long as there's more uses for gold, I think that that's an equally good thing as well. And then they'll talk about this one, but you can also spend gold to encourage the clan to attack other nearby civilizations or city-states. And this, I think, is going to be really fun, especially in multiplayer, because then that means that you can just pay these clans to attack your friends and really irritate them. So definitely be looking for some good moments like that whenever I play with the lads. If you're not following my Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSaxyGamer, link is in the description below. Shameless self-promotion. Let's go. Anyways, let's go ahead and keep seeing what they got to say.
Or spend your gold to incite them and pay them to attack someone else, while you deny all culpability. Lest you start getting too comfortable around your barbarous allies and they abduct one of your civilian units, you also have the option to pay a ransom in order to get that unit back if a combat rescue isn't in the cards.
So that is also nice if they do steal one of your builders or anything like that. You can just pay them a little bit of gold and you'll get your builder back. Is this better or worse than actually just attacking? I don't know. I mean, it might be more difficult if they've got Eagle Warriors, so I'm getting ready to rage at these barbarians already whenever they have, advanced units like that, but at least you can pay them a little bit of gold to get your units back if you lose a settler or a builder or something like that.
Overall, the Barbarian Clans mode will offer even more strategic possibilities as you make your way through the game. You can still treat barbarians like the empty-headed gold piñatas you're used to, or you can try a more nuanced approach. Learn to live together, and maybe, eventually, become their suzerain.
The free.
So this is one thing that I just realized right here. This city has -2 combat strength. I don't know how that happens. That's maybe a little bit of a bug. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Also, it's got the wrong border colors to be Valletta, but I don't know. Maybe something's a little bit buggy with it in this build of the game or something. But yeah, I think that this Barbarian game mode is going to be really cool, and this is one of those things where, much like with monopolies and corporations, I hope that these are kind of like trial runs for things that they add in as features in Civ 7, and, to improve them even more, because I think that these are some really good systems that increase the depth of the gameplay in a way that I think is really, really entertaining. So hopefully they can take some of this stuff and incorporate it into Civ 7 and expand it and flesh it out even a little bit more, because I think that this, along with some of the other recent things they've added, are really good additions to the game.
Become their suzerain.
The free February game update also introduces another new feature that we've seen 1 or 2 requests for. Ever since we launched the Natural Wonder Picker and then the City-State Picker, there's been a lot of conversation about a similar picker, but for opposing civilizations. We have answered your calls and are proud to introduce the Leader Selection Pool.
I am so happy that they are adding this because I have been talking about this for... I don't even, honestly, since I've started doing YouTube, I feel like I've been asking for this, or I think I've been asking for it in the form of like a blacklist, just to say what civs you don't want. This selection pool is pretty much that same thing, where it works just like all of the other things, where you can select which leaders will appear in the randomized pool and which ones won't. So if you're tired of seeing, you know, Korea and all the irritating civs in every game, you can just make a pool that doesn't have them in it, and you won't have to worry about it, and you can still get the joy of having random civs, just not the ones that you hate.
That's right, you will now be able to customize the pool of leaders that can be used in a game. If you find Trajan to be too big of a bully, you can eliminate him from your selection pool, and he will be guaranteed not to appear in your game. Similarly, if there's a leader you've never played against and want to see how you measure up, you can make sure they're one of the only leaders available, guaranteeing them a spot on your map. The leader selection pool can even be used in multiplayer mode to restrict the leaders other players can choose.
So I think that is something that's kind of cool, is that you can use it in multiplayer for restricting which leaders people pick. So this is something that, it just reminds me of, since Dave has been making some multiplayer maps and stuff like that, I wonder if that would be helpful to make it a little bit less buggy than what it currently is with how we implement that with the custom maps. So maybe we'll have to give that one a try. That could be helpful for custom map makers or things like that, or just anybody that likes to play multiplayer but doesn't want people picking cheese civs.
Included in the free February game update are some additional tweaks to the AI. For instance,
anytime they say tweaks to the AI, I immediately get excited, so hopefully we've got some good stuff here. I can tell you now, it's not the most exciting stuff, but it is something that I know a lot of people have been asking for.
Inspiration here, we not only looked to your comments on social media, but also looked up into the sky. The bulk of our AI changes involve air units and air combat. AI opponents will now be much more likely to utilize anti-air defenses, as well as much more likely to launch airstrikes of their own. This should add another level of late game challenge to anyone who's looking for it and prevent the AI from being completely bombarded.
We've also made
So I think that actually is kind of cool, because air units, I mean, everybody's complained about the air combat in Civ 6 for literally the entire time that's been out, because it really has not been very good, but I think it's a very good thing that they're making the AI use anti-air more often, because jet bombers and things like that in the late game are just total cheese, because they shred through everybody and nobody ever builds air defenses against them, so having them actually build air defenses will make that a little bit cheese, and then, or a little bit less cheese. And then the fact that maybe we'll actually see the AI use some air units will make that, you know, it's always nice to see the things in the game actually get used, so very nice changes there.
made a few balance changes. While some of these affect only Rise and Fall or Gathering Storm expansion content, most of the changes are for all rule sets. For example, we've shifted around some policy slots available to certain governments to more accurately reflect the way those governments would run in reality.
So that actually is a very big change, is that they're changing around which policy slots you get for some of the governments, because this can quite drastically change which governments I think are going to be, you know, some of the better ones and which are going to be some of the worst. So it'll be interesting to see what these policy card changes actually are, because this could have a big impact on which governments you take throughout the game.
And to better align with playstyles you might anticipate when you select them. We've also rebalanced some natural wonders and made some text clarifications in natural wonder descriptions. As an example, we've added a campus adjacency bonus to the Great Barrier Reef, as a nod to the invaluable marine biology research performed there in real life. Another wonder whose changes some of you might be interested in? The Cliffs of Dover.
Oh, everybody's already hyped about the Cliffs of Dover changes. I know everybody always, I mean myself included, always complains about how terrible Cliffs of Dover are, and don't worry, they've gotten slightly better.
The cliffs will now provide 3 gold, 3 culture, and 2 food.
1.
So that's still really, I mean, it's not insanely good. The thing that, honestly, in my opinion, makes the Cliffs of Dover so bad are the fact that you can't put any tile improvements on these tiles, but this already is, you know, a huge improvement over what it was. There's pretty much 3 more yields on these tiles than what there previously were, and the fact that it has food is really, really nice to have. So very good on them for improving the Cliffs of Dover. Will this change make this an actually good natural wonder? I don't think it's going to make it good, but it's going to make it significantly better than it was before, which always is a welcome change, obviously.
The cliffs will now provide 3 gold, 3 culture, and 2 food.
1 more word about the Cliffs of Dover, and I will cut out your tongue with my dullest blade.
So there it is, folks, all the important beats from our free February game update, headlined by the optional new game mode Barbarian Clans and the leader selection pool to customize the civs that can appear in your game. Expect the update on February 26th, and don't forget to...
So I think that this guy actually misspoke. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be February 25th, because these always come out on a Thursday, which would be the 25th, and I'm pretty sure it says that at the end, so it's not February 26th, February 25th, next Thursday. in about, what, 10 days or something like that. So not too long to wait.
To tune back in when we hit April to learn about the final free game update.
I wonder if that's a nod to whatever is coming in. Oh, Eugene is now, he's stealing one of my pencils off my desk by just beating it around. But yeah, I wonder if this is a nod to what's coming in the April update, just with the catapult there, maybe some changes to some siege play or something. I don't know, like that. You guys can theorize in the comments below about what you think that means.
Update of the season.
Civ fans, you are the best.
Also, that is one thing that I just want to talk about. He said the final update of the season, which means, will there be a season 2 of the Frontier Pass? I don't know. Personally, this is a question I get asked on stream all the time, so I figure I'll talk about it right now a little bit. I kind of hope that they do move on to Civ 7, because as much as I love what they're doing with Civ 6, adding in all this new content and stuff like that, I'm kind of ready to move on to the next Civ game, to have them kind of start from a cleaner slate, because they're adding more and more, which is obviously good, but I think that, some of these game modes aren't balanced, but they do have really good ideas in them, so I'd love to see them take all these great ideas that they've had from the new Frontier Pass, put them into the base game of the next Civ game, and then, just see where we can go from there. But nonetheless, I, of course, still love Civ 6. It's a great game, and I'm really glad that they have put this much time and effort into the new Frontier Pass, because Civ 6 at the end of Gathering Storm was, it was a very good game, but people would still argue that it was well behind Civ 5. I think with all the content they've added in this new Frontier Pass, I think there's no question that Civ 6 is now a much more complete and well-made, well-put-together, well-polished game. I think that one other thing I do want to mention is that there have been, I think it's been confirmed in a live stream, that the April update is going to be a massive balance patch, so very excited to see that, to hopefully put a final layer of polish on Civ 6 before moving on to Civ 7.
Best fans in gaming. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you enjoy taking one more turn. Or depending on how many barbarian clans you intend to raid,
One more burn.
So yeah, so you can see here it does say February 25th. So yeah, that's the February update. So very exciting things coming out in this update as well. I think this is one of the more exciting of the free updates, just because it's got the leader selection picker, which I think has been highly anticipated. It's got a new game mode, which is always cool, and this game mode I think is going to be a pretty good one, and I'm excited to play this one quite a bit more than something, like Tekken Civic Shuffle or Dramatic Ages or something like that, which is just, Dramatic Ages just makes me want to beat my head off my desk anytime I play it on Deity, so I don't really play that one that much. But yeah, some very exciting content and more great stuff for Civ 6. So let me know what you think in the comments below. But thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.